Sorry, but my phone, which I use for shooting, has completely died. So the question was, why use the spells which have a sanity cost and also can be used only in one combat, and next turn we will have to pay again the sanity price to use them again, if you can use in each combat physical weapons. Let's go deeper. Shotgun give us +4 bonus to combat checks, but each shriveling which use only one hand give us focus, please. But each shriveling, you're kidding. But each shriveling which use only one hand give us bonus +6. So if Gloria will use both shriveling, she will have +12 instead of +4, which are granted by shotgun. Also, there are monsters. I have put all of them in the back. Sorry, which have magical or physical resistance. So, if monster have physical resistance or physical immunity, we will use magical weapons or spells. If monster have magical immunity or magical resistance, we will use physical weapon. What is the difference between resistance and immunity? Resistance cut the bonuses in half, and immunity ignore the bonuses. So magical immunity will ignore the bonuses from the spells and magical weapons. Physical immunity will ignore the bonuses from physical weapons. And as I said, the resistance will cut the bonus in half. So instead of giving +6 to combat checks, each shriveling that has been casted will give us only +3 bonus. And that's all for the starting random possessions. Also, Gloria have one skill. So let's draw one skill, and in her case it's quite suitable, quite a good skill, the +1 lore, which means that he has more chances to cast the spells. Now the last step in setting the investigators. So let's go again back to the pit. As you can see, each characteristic of investigator has its pair. For example, sneak and speed are paired together. Usually, for the start of game, I put the maximum value for speed, so we can go as farther as we can. Speed, it is used for movement. For example, if we have speed of 3, the Arkham Pit starts in River Docks, and he wants to get to the graveyard to get the clue. Let's see. 1 movement point, 2 movement point, 3 movement points. He gets to the graveyard. He have 3 movement points because of his speeds equal to 3. For what is used sneak? Let's take a monster, and as I said, we will discuss later about this modifier -2. For what it stands? It stands for the evade check. Evade check, it's a particular case of sneak. our sneak is equal to 3 and evade modifier for the elder thing is 2. So let's say Pete wants to go to the graveyard, but he must pass the elder thing. If he stops and start combat, he wouldn't move forward. If you have started a combat, you have to stay. You have to stay even if you win against the monster. So he wants to go through the elder thing. It has the modifier of -2 plus 3 from sneak. It means that we will roll 1 die. And on a success, which usually it's 5 or 6, we will go further. If not, we will stop and start fighting the monster. It has 1 success, 6, so he can go further. That is for the speed and sneak. Let's return elder thing to our monster cup and shuffle it. Enough. Further we have fight and will. We have described it at the start, the horror and the combat check. Horror check is based on the will, and fight check is based on the and combat check is based on the fight. So this is horror, this is combat. The bigger its will, the smaller its fight. Because we have fight and fight skill and weapon, we will set the value at this point. So if we start a combat with monster, we will have 5 combat plus 1 die to roll, practically 6 combat and will of 4. And the last one, it's lore and luck. Lore, as we have seen from the example with Gloria, it's used to cast spells. And luck, it's the most common skill check in Arkham Horror in different locations and in other worlds. So, because we have the higher value of lore for Gloria, and she also have a lore skill, we will set the value of lore luck pair to the maximum value of luck for Arkham Pit. And let's go to the Gloria and do the same for her. We will set the maximum value for the speed. Also we will set the maximum value for the fight, because Gloria have a sanity of 5 and she can afford to lose some points of sanity. And also we will set the lore value at its maximum. And that's all for the setup of the investigators. Further, we have to set up the board. In each location which has the red rectangle on its top, we will have to put a clue token. Clue token is the most valued thing, one of the most valued things in games, because 5 clue token can allow you to seal a gate, and 3 plus 3, 6 seal gates means victory. Also, and the locations in which clue tokens appears are called unstable location, and location with the green rectangle on the top are called stable locations. In stable locations, monster and gates do not appear. Monster gates and tokens and clue tokens do not appear. In unstable location, they do appear. There are 11 unstable locations in the base game. The most